Hello, everybody. It's Narrative Tarot. I'm here for your full moon in Leo reading. So, I have a pick a card actually. So, it's Deviant Moon Tarot or Cloud Deck. And so, you can pick one of those two. So, this is full moon in Leo. That's going to be coming up in like the next 2 days. But I wanted to kind of make sure that people who were outside of the US and ahead with time zones, they were able to kind of participate. So here we go. So the Deviant Moon is pile 1. This is what it looks like if you're drawn to some of the imagery. And then this is pile 2 for the Cloud Deck. So we're going to do the first pile, which is the Deviant Moon. And so it's going to be like the day before, the day of, 6 months, and then a year. So it's 4 cards. Okay, so you have more cards than I expected here. So for your your day before, you have the 6 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles. Your date of the Emperor, 7 of Pentacles. 6 months from now, the Tower. A year from now, or a year from this full moon, Ace of Pentacles, and the Sun. So let's start with your first, the day before. So the day before, you actually may be very tired, very exhausted. You may have just gotten off of work and realized there's a full moon going on. So this is coming after a day of work. You might want to go get a special drink or something to celebrate. You may be closer to your coworkers than usual. So this definitely is somebody who's like working. I feel like it may slip your mind that it's a full moon in Leo, or just a full moon in general. Let's see what that has. So you may be somebody who actually is fixated on full moons, new moons, moon cycles in general. I am hearing maybe like be a little more lax than that, or a little more lax about it. Don't put yourself so hard, don't work so hard. So you could also be a practitioner, and that means don't work so hard around this time. Just don't do too much. You could also be someone trying to do water spells, water works, spiritual baths, things like that. Putting your all into it. And so the advice is just, you're going to be working a lot, and it may behoove you to like rest a little bit. So the full moon in Leo, your advice the day before is to actually rest and enjoy yourself. If you just get off of work, don't go and do anything else. Don't go and try and, oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and I gotta do that. Just like take your ass home. Take your ass home and chill out and then rest. Because the next day, it seems like it's imperative that you are the emperor, because you may have certain events that happen that take a lot of energy and a lot of time, and also take a lot of authority, and you have to deal with things with a lot of authority. And if you don't rest like the day before, then this day is kind of hectic, and you will feel like you're trying to get blood out of a tree, or blood from a stone, as they say. You may lose it. You may become very cranky. You may become you just not a great person that day. So just chill out, rest. I would stay away from spell work for some reason this season, this full moon. I would stay away from spell work. I feel like you don't have the energy to do spell work. You don't have the right tools. And if you do push forward looking for that success, I don't necessarily know if you're going to have it. So rest up the day before. Make sure you're in your power and you're in authority. If you didn't do the work beforehand, it could have an effect on the date of. 6 months from now, the Tower is coming out. So I'm not saying the Tower is particularly bad, but I do say that this Leo moon may show you where you're just running on fumes, running on E, and particularly in your job, your workspace. It could be your body, but I feel like in your job or your workplace where you really do need a vacation, and this may actually come out where, yeah, there's a situation where you're bickering with somebody and you're over it. You don't want to hear anymore. You don't want to deal with anything that's going on, and you check out. And so, let's see. Yeah, you need to put whatever money, energy that you have into actually resting and making sure that you know your worth enough to not overextend yourself. Because if you overextend yourself, you're really gonna either turn into this person that's like causing a lot of chaos, or you're gonna snap on the person that does. When you are normally composed, you're normally composed. You're normally well mannered. Even if you are annoyed, you're able to see like solutions, come up with a solution. This may not be functioning as much, and so there is a possibility of having this big eruption of emotion, and it's because you aren't rested, you aren't resting, you aren't stepping back. Okay. Put this back in here. Oh, I'll keep it. I guess I'll keep it with that. And then lastly, a year from now. So a year from now, everything is going to work out pretty well. I feel like a year from now, you will be, I don't want to say repeating the same cycle, but if the cycle comes back up in a year, you'll see it clearer, a lot clearer than you did the year before, which is 2021. So 2022, when the next Leo full moon comes, you'll be a lot more wiser. You'll have the knowledge, and you'll know what to do to make that whole period, that week or so, a lot better for you. So you'll have learned. So maybe next year your spell will work, or you can get into spell work. It may just be that you're not equipped to do spell work this year. You may be rushing it with that 8 of Pentacles that I showed and that 6 of Cups. You may just be rushing it because you want it to work, but you're not there yet as far as learning to pull off a spell like this, because I feel like this may be a very powerful spell, maybe a very grand spell in its aims or goals, objectives, things like that. And so you do need the necessary skill set to do it. But I don't see that this year. I see it coming next year. And if you do decide to do something this year, make sure it's not rushed. Make sure you see the truth of it. Make sure it's not something that you want. It's something that you really need, and something that you're gonna be able to shine your light with, which means it has to be very authentic to you, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to obtain it, one, but then two, master it so that it achieves its highest aims out in the world. So that's all I have for you guys for PAL 1. Thank you for watching. And now we'll go on to PAL 2, which is the Cloud. So this is the Cloud, PAL 2. So it's going to be the same setup, nothing different. That's too many. That's like 3. Okay. Oh, that's 3. Okay. If it was 2, I could deal with it. Okay, so day before you have the Power. Day of you have the Sweet and the Nothing. Six months you have the Fiery. And then a year from now you have the Big. So let's start with the Power. I'm not going to say your reading is the complete opposite of the first one, but I will say that there might be a little more willingness of the energy to work with this pile than the first pile. I think that there is some ability to undergo the transformation needed to bring about these circumstances than the other pile. I think the other pile was really running on fumes versus this pile, which is a lot more in flow. So the Power, you have a very, I feel like, humble goal. I don't feel like it's so huge. I think it may be a childhood goal. It could be something dealing with children. You may be someone, so this depends on the age group. You may be someone who's looking to have a child, looking to have a family, looking to be a teacher of children, perhaps like kindergarten, like very young children, because I think you understand that during this time period, a lot of children need guidance, they need help, and this is a very critical time. Like, your brain is rapidly developing and growing at this time, and you want to be a part of that. So this is the Illusion, and it's reversed. So I do think that you've cleared up enough of yourself to be able to do this work, to be able to ask for this so purely of yourself, because you know yourself and you know what your aims are with this ask for the universe, right? With this collaboration with the universe, you know what it entails. So you're a lot more inclined to go with it a lot purer and a lot clearer than the other pile. We have the Sweet, and then we have the Nothing. So I think the date of the full moon in Leo, it's almost like you made it, and then you made the request, and then you let it go. Like, it's a humble request, and then you let it go. Like, it's not in your psyche anymore outside of like you'll obtain it or you'll have some reward come to you. If it's not this, then it's something else that aligns with you, right? So it's letting go. I don't want to say of expectations because I think you expect to get it, or get your aim to help people, specifically children, or shine your light or speak your truth. Like that is expected. You expect to get that, but I think you don't expect have a clear road of how you expect to get it. And you're a lot more willing to go on the ride than I think the other group. So the move. So I do feel like the day of, things just might feel like they're really going well. I don't think that you'll be able to pinpoint specifically what's going well. It'll be like, it's almost like the day of the I was going to say the eclipse, the day of the full moon or the night or whatever, that period. It's almost like everything goes in a blur, but things are exceptionally well. So it's not like you can really pinpoint anything specific that was great. Like somebody asked you like, how was your day? Oh, everything was just great. Like everything just happened, and people, they just like, oh, like you want to talk about it more? And you're just like, I really can't. Like it was just all great. Like you can't really pinpoint too many things that have happened in the day. You just know that your day went well. Like even if your day normally doesn't go well, like you have issues with certain things at certain times of the day, parking, getting food, the lady who's the receptionist, like it feels like you're able to move, like literally move around that, and there's nothing in your way. So 6 months from now we have the fiery. I think if you believe in like guardian angels and stuff like that, this is your like angels and guides, like let me show you what we can do, kind of like getting to work on your behalf. Like, so I don't see you as the fiery. I kind of feel like you stay stuck at the power and the sweet, and then like 6 months from now is a phase where you're not looking, because you're still not looking at all of this, but it's being worked on for you. The dream. So your dream state may be really helpful in telling you whether or not you're on the right track. I do think that you are, but your dream state will be letting you know what's going on. So if you're having any difficulties, like subconsciously, energetically, if there's any circumstances surrounding the the full realization of whatever it is that you ask for, you'll know in your dream. You'll know in your dream. Pay attention to the color yellow. Pay attention to the color orange. Pay attention to lights flickering, going out, candles flickering, candles going out, things like that, because we are dealing with Leo, which is the sun, and it's a fire sign as well. So just pay attention to all of that kind of stuff. It could be paranormal activity, but pay attention to light, because it's showing you the way that you're supposed to go. So this is pretty cool. So at this stage, 6 months, you don't have to do anything because it's being done for you. Lastly, we have the big. So it comes out bigger than expected. Now, for some people, it may be too much to handle because you may not have the skill set for it. It's not that you get it and then you flub it because you don't have the skill set, but it's just at the end it might just present a learning curve, right? So it's like you don't experience the learning curve up until you get it. So it's like starting a business but having no business plan, nothing. You just start the business, or you say you want to start a business, and then there's no preparation in between the time that you start a business, when you say you want to start a business and when you start a business, and then like the learning curve is like just actually running the business. That's the learning curve, which is kind of a weird way of going about things. The through and the float. So you're gonna have to go through this issue at the end. It's not that you can't avoid it, you can't go around it, but it would be best if you just kind of float, kind of just take information as it comes, almost like the nothing, where it kind of just goes through you. Like, it's, you don't get so bogged down by any of the issues. You're willing to go through them because you know that you've been rewarded, and you're less inclined to call it quits when something goes wrong. You're fully aware that you have a learning curve, but I think it's not hanging on you as seriously as someone else. So you can rise above despair, hardship, not believing in yourself, things like that. You can rise above it because at the end you get this and you are able to go through it. And the way you go through it is just going moment by moment, not planning too much, not doing too much, taking things as they come, believing in yourself that you can do it, that if you were given this, then you are able to deal with the challenges that come with whatever you've been rewarded. So I like this. I like this reading. I like both of them. One is just, the first one is more of you have a few things to work through within yourself and not to rush. And then this one is just, you're past that point. It's just, now it's coming to fruition. And you have to kind of go through that portal of experience and not be bogged down by what is going to come that may be less than positive. So the first one is kind of like the step before the second pile. But anyway, thank you for watching. I am so honored to do this reading. I hope that you enjoyed. Stay tuned for new readings. Comment, like, subscribe, especially like and subscribe. That way you can be in the now for the subscription. And if you like the video, it definitely lets me know what ideas and readings to do. And commenting just builds up engagement so that it's recommended for more people. So thank you for watching. Take care.